Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad-Bhagavatam, 4th canto, chapter 8, text number 62. Iti yuktastam parikramya pranamya cha nruparbakaha yayo madhuvanam punyam hareshcharana charitam. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. When Dhruva Maharaj, the son of king, was thus advised by the great sage Narada, he circumambulated Narada, his spiritual master, and offered him obeisances, respectful obeisances. Then he started for Madhuvana, which is always imprinted with the lotus footprints of Lord Krishna, and which is therefore especially auspicious. Text 63. Tapovanam gate tasmin pravishto antapuram munihi arhitaraham kaurajna sukhasina uvachatam. After Dhruva Maharaj entered Madhuvana forest to execute devotional service, the great sage Narada thought it wise to go to the king to see how he was faring within the palace. When Narada Muni approached, the king received him properly, offering him due obeisances. After being seated comfortably, Narada began to speak. Text 64. Narada uvacha rajan kim dhyayase dirgham mukena parishushyata kim va narishyate kamo dharmo vartena samyutaha. Translation purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The great sage Narada inquired, "My dear king, your face appears to be withering up, and you look like have been thinking of something very long time. Why is it? Why is that? Have you been hampered in following your path of religious rites, economic development, and sense gratification?" Purport. The 4 stages of advancement of human civilization are religiosity, economic development, sense gratification, and for some the stage of liberation. Narada Muni did not inquire from the king about his liberation, but only regarding the state management, which is meant for advancement of 3 principles: religiosity, economic development, and sense gratification. Since those who engage in such activities are not interested in liberation, Narada did not inquire from king about this. Liberation is meant for persons who have lost all interest in religious ritualistic ceremonies, economic development, and sense gratification. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. So now, Narada Rishi finishes his instructions to Dhruva Maharaj. Following that, Dhruva Maharaj, being advised by the great sage Narada, he circumambulated Narada, his spiritual master, paid obeisances to him. Then he started going towards Madhuvana. And Madhuvana is a place where the Lord's footprint has been imprinted because of having done his past, having displayed his transcendental pastimes, Madhuvana being part of Vrindavana. And therefore it is said to be very auspicious, and that is where Narada Rishi advised Dhruva to go, and Dhruva went towards Madhuvana. And it is said here that Narada started going towards the palace. Narada Muni thought, it is best, now let me approach the king. And as soon as he entered the palace, the king offered him due obeisances. And after making Narada Rishi seated comfortably, then the great son Narada inquired, "Why are you looking so morose? You seem to be worried about something. You are thinking a lot about something for a long time. Why is that? Is something of your desires being hampered? Your desires of artha, kama, dharma, is it something is hampered?" He is asking that question to the king. So, Prabhupada explains here, of course in this verse, he says, Narada Rishi excludes liberation from his question to the king. He says, are you hampered by non-fulfillment of your desire for dharma, artha and kama? He says. And he does not talk about the liberation. So Srila Prabhupada says here that Narada Rishi specifically excluded the subject matter of liberation from Maharaj, because from the king, Dhruva Maharaj's father, because he knew that he was not interested. He is a person, a worldly person, interested in only dharma, artha and kama, and not in moksha. So why ask about moksha? So Narada Muni did not inquire from the king about his liberation, but only regarding state management. This is typical of all even the so-called religious people of this world. They lose sight of the goal of dharma, goal of artha, kama, which is actually liberation from this material world. So they are simply stuck in even though they may be religious, they are stuck in the pavarga, the path of material or the life of material tribulations, life of material frustration, life of eternal cycle of birth and death. Even though they may appear to be religious. What to speak of people who are not religious in this present day? Their situation is even worse. They're not even human beings. And that was the vision of Srila Prabhupada. Not a human civilization. It's an animal civilization on four wheels. Animals are on four legs, these are on four wheels. Why Prabhupada says such things? Because it is based on the scriptures. He is not simply making his personal opinion. When Prabhupada says rascal civilization, this is what it means. When Prabhupada calls somebody Mudha, not that he is, because Krishna calls them Mudha. So Krishna, he also says Mudhas. So any civilization which is not knowing the purpose of life, then all those activities, that entire life is anartha. Anartha means unwanted for the soul. So the first stage of spiritual advancement, by association with the holy name, by association with Krishna, as per the instructions of the spiritual master, is realization of this anartha and avoiding activities of anartha. Anartha nivritti. Giving up all these activities which are nothing to do with the soul. If at all they have to do with the soul, it should have something to do with liberating the soul from this material world. Anartha nivritti. Anartha means no purposeless. There is no purpose for the soul. Artha means there is a purpose. So after anartha nivritti means not doing any activity, not chasing those activities. Anartha nivritti. One should engage in artha pravritti. Artha means purpose. Then positive activities for a purpose. And that is practical devotional service that we do, sadhana bhakti. We engage in various activities which are meaningful. How they become meaningful? The activities, when they are performed for the pleasure of the Supreme Lord, Supreme Absolute Truth, then it becomes meaningful. Just like this body, if every part of the body is acting for the entire body, then the activity of the part is meaningful for the whole body, meaningful for the part itself. If the part is not serving the whole, then the problem is for the part only. So Krishna, the idea of Krishna is a complete whole. Prabhupada explains this in Ishopanishad. The Supreme Absolute Truth is a complete whole. Complete whole person. So the complete whole person, the Supreme Lord, has his parts and parcels, which we are all his part and parcels. Just like this body has got fingers, tail, feet, hand, etc. Different parts are there. They are all serving the total body. Unlike this human body, but it is good, this analogy Prabhupada often gives about this analogy of if you cut a finger, of the finger does not cooperate with the body, does not pick up the food and put in the stomach. Ultimately, the person who's the finger only starves. So imagine a body which is actually not dependent upon the parts, but the parts are dependent upon the whole. This is the body. If some part gets affected, I get affected fully. Krishna is not like that. Krishna is a complete whole. He is Satchidananda. If his parts do not serve him, nothing happens to him. Because he is always full, complete. Any number of complete things come out of him, he is still complete. Okay, but the parts, they suffer when they do not engage in a connected way with the whole. So that is the meaning of surrendering to Krishna. Surrendering means we surrender our desire to his desire, we surrender our will to his will, etc. That whole thing. His will means his will, his desire and all, we cannot imagine what his desires are. But we can easily see what is his desire for us. So when we say we should not have any desire other than his desire, it means that we should have no other desire than his desire for us. He has no desire, he is fully fulfilled. So his desires are only desires for us. Just like how you can stop suffering. Sarva dharman parityaja mam ekam sharanam aham tum sarva papebhyo mokshishya masucha. See, there also he is saying, you surrender so that you don't suffer. Mokshishya masucha. The key thing. When he's saying surrender, he says you stop suffering. Not because you surrender, I get pleasure. Means something that I gain. No, Krishna doesn't gain anything because he is Purna. We are the losers, we are the gainers. So whenever we say devotion service pleases the Lord, especially at the sadhana stage, we should understand. Pure devotion service is different, where there is exchange of pure rasa between the devotees and Krishna. At our stage, this is not the kind of rasa exchange that gives pleasure to Krishna. From our stage, it is our alignment with the Lord's desire that we don't suffer because we are all his part and parcel, that we should go back to him. So whenever we take any artha pravritti, means purposeful action to go back to Godhead, he is very pleased. Every item in our sadhana bhakti, it pleases Krishna, it pleases Nama Prabhu, because Nama Prabhu's main incarnation, Kalikale Krishna, Kalikale Nama Rupe Krishna Avatara, that means he has a desire. Golokera Premadana Harinama Sankirtana, it has come down from the spiritual world. Who has come down? The Nama Prabhu, the transcendental name of the Lord, who is Krishna himself, whom Krishna himself glorifies as greater than him. Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then you say, oh, my name is so great. You have seen those verses. Krishna glorifying his name. So that transcendental name, personality, Shuddhanama, transcendental personality, descends into this material world. Prabhupada explains like how a sun is reflected on different water bodies on this earth. In the same way, that transcendental Shuddhanama incarnates onto the tongue of unlimited jivas who utter Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Like one sun reflects on unlimited bodies, one Shuddhanama is Leela. With a purpose he comes. What is his purpose? His purpose is wants to give supreme liberation from all the suffering to the living entities by taking them back to Godhead through the process of giving his association of Satya Chittanananda. He wants, so therefore the Lord descends on the tongue, on the vibration that we chant, and makes that Nama into Shakti Avesha Nama. The effulgent rays of Shuddha Nama. Prabhupada explains the effulgent rays, just like the Lord is surrounded by effulgent rays, the Shuddha Nama is also effulgent. Effulgence is the personal energy of the Lord. That effulgence reflects on the sound that we chant. That effulgence is what? Shuddha Nama Shakti. Satchidananda Shakti. So, like a sun shines on the water bodies, in the same way, this effulgence, transcendental effulgence of Shuddhanama, by his merciful disposition, through his effulgence, he incarnates as the transcendental vibration. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. The Lord is eternally sounding in the spiritual world as the Shuddhanama, non-different from the transcendental form of the Lord, body of the Lord. The Nama is eternally vibrating, not only eternally vibrating, also the effulgence from the Lord is also eternally vibrating. Just like sun is light, and what comes out of sun is also light. So this light which comes and reflects, this is Aprakrita Nama who descends. So the Shuddha Nama descends in different tongues as Aprakrita Nama. That means a transcendental vibration. That's called Golokera Premadana Hari Nama Sankirtana. It is coming down from the spiritual world. And then enters the sound that we chant, and that chant, the sound that we chant is no longer a material sound because it becomes Shakti Avesha Nama. Shakti means what? This Aprakrita Nama has entered. Incarnated. Incarnated means enters a matter body. But when Lord enters a matter body, it's no longer matter because everything for him is his body only. He was unmanifest, he became manifest. That's all the difference. He willed. He willed to become that sound. Yes, okay. As soon as you utter, the sound that you utter is Krishna himself. So Shakti Avesha Nama is Krishna himself. This is the faith that that is required for devotees. They should not differentiate, because Lord is very merciful. Okay, I have become the Vigraha, Shabda Vigraha, Archa Vigraha. I have become. You don't worry. I have become. You embrace me. You serve me. For your sake, I have become, simultaneously one and different with this energy. Krishna can become. Anytime you want, he can become. So, even neophytes, they get an opportunity to directly touch God through Archa Vigraha, directly touch God through Shabda, Nama Vigraha, Shabda Vigraha. But we should have that Shraddha. This is that Shraddha. One should chant with Shraddha, means this is Lord himself. Okay, to get Shraddha, you need to understand something, some reasoning. Hey, how can this ordinary vibration be God himself? Yes, you understand the Nama Tattva, your Shraddha increases. Why it has become, how it has become. Prabhupada gives the example of electrical wire when he talks about incarnation. When electricity flows through the ordinary wire, it is no longer ordinary, it's electrified wire. The wire acts as good as electricity. He gives example of iron put in the fire. So in the same way, coming back to the point, the Lord incarnates into this world as in different forms in order to give us a chance to go back to him. So any activity which you do to worship the Archa, any activity you do to build temples, you do any activity connected to chanting, preaching the holy name, you do anything, distributing books, they all directly please the Supreme Personality of Godhead, because they are there. They incarnate into this material world. Just like Prabhupada's books, they are incarnations. His Bhaktivedanta purports are incarnations of transcendental intelligence. It is not a material substance. By reading the Bhaktivedanta purports, our material intelligence becomes purified. That is why I said reading books is very important. Hearing Hare Krishna is very important. Honoring Prasadam is very important. Seeing the beautiful deities of the Lord is very important. Engaging, working for the deities, very important. Worshipping the spiritual master is very important. Why? Because you are really taking advantage of why they have come here for. Everything else in the material world is all anartha. It is all effect. This body is an effect. Others' bodies are effects. They are not substance. They are effects. They look like, because in the spiritual world you have a permanent body, you tend to see each other as this body. But actually these are all effects. We easily see that we grow old and this is an effect. How can I say I'm this body? If I think I am eternal, I cannot be this body. Others also cannot be their bodies. These are all effects. In the midst of all these effects, what is a Satya? Krishna Nama is Satya. Because when you utter, even though it's a material vibration, matter vibration produced by your tongue, still because the Lord has descended into it as another sound, transcendental sound. It is transcendental sound, therefore, this is Satya. There is Satya in it. Ordinary sounds, it's an effect. But the holy name, that what you vibrate is an effect, but that effect becomes omnipotent because of the Satya, truth. What is truth? The eternal name of the Lord is a truth. He is there. So there are truths even in this material world. Everything is an effect in the material world. Everything is three modes of material nature. Material modes of nature means effects. Man, woman, animal, this, life symptoms, these are all effects. Effect is different, substance is different. But we tend to see, oh, this world is God. There are buildings, there are people, there are men, there are women. We think there are substances in this world, there are identities in this world. No, they're all effects. A man embraces a woman, woman embraces a man. Man is not embracing, woman is not embracing. There's no man, there's no woman, there's only effect. There's only effect. This is a truth. But in the spiritual world, no, there's an eternal body. There's interaction between real bodies, spiritual bodies. Here we are thinking it is like that. So here Sat, transcendental body of the Lord. You can find a body in this world which is eternal, transcendental. The deity bodies. Prabhupada's deity. So, pleasing the Supreme Lord. We need to understand. Only when we understand that what I am doing is directly pleasing to the Supreme Lord, then you know that you are doing loving service. That means pleasing somebody. You're acting for the pleasure of the Lord. So even a sadhaka is acting for the pleasure of the Lord. Then we chant Hare Krishna. Because so many nama aparadha, so many things are there. It's not that my chanting is pleasing to Krishna in that sense. Krishna, let me hear my name. No. That he does, he enjoys when a pure devotee chants the pure name. He enjoys. Now when we chant Hare Krishna also, Krishna is very happy. Krishna is pleased. Why? Little differently. Why? Oh, he is taking medicine so that one day he can chant my name. He is taking medicine. He wants to come back to me. And he reciprocates accordingly. So whether it is sadhana stage or higher stage, the reasons for the Lord's pleasure is different, but Lord is pleased. So that should give us satisfaction. That every activity that I do, transcendental service to the Lord, that is pleasing to the Supreme Lord, pleasing Him. So it becomes so inspiring. My God, my activity, I can do activity every moment that gives pleasure to the Supreme Lord. Yes, you can. So you see in this situation, Narada Rishi is not talking to king about, the fourth Purushartha. He's not talking. Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha is not talking because he's not interested. They're all lost in this material world. Look at our position. How fortunate Prabhupada has made us. At least here, king is Dharma, Artha, Kama is following according to proper method. But before coming to Prabhupada, we had no Dharma, only animal, Artha and Kama we had. We were animals. A pure devotee transform the animals into a position where beyond dharma, artha, kama, moksha. This is a fact. Because are we in Krishna consciousness movement? We are following Sarva Dharman Parityajya. The normal dharmas we have renounced. And we have adopted only one thing. Mam ekam sharanam vraja. We have surrendered to Krishna. So this surrendering to Krishna is so powerful, it is gifted us this life. The people say, what, see, I need reciprocation. Where is God? My life is God. You should tell. My life is God. Proof of God. I have become liberated. At a macro level, I become liberated. So many Vegas will be there. That is my prarabdha karma. It will come, it will go, all those things. But I am in the process of taking medicine. Ultimately, all this contamination will go. Devotees also should be very patient. If they are taking medicine, they should be patient. They should not get frustrated. If you're taking Harinam, if you're following the sadhana, you are young, be patient. Take on medicine, 100% you'll cure, 100% cure will come. The proof is, even at this young age, how many anarthas you have given up? Outside fellow cannot live without tea and coffee. You can live, you are not even touching tea, coffee, not even interested in it. So like that, because why? Tea and coffee was not required for soul. It's called anartha. So anartha, you gave up one anartha. Like that, one by one, all the anartha should be given up. Did you consciously work in order to give up tea and coffee? No. How did it happen? Anartha nivritti. Hare Krishna. When you engaged in associating with the Nama, that changed. So be confident that in the same way I keep taking medicine without doing any aparadha, without making any offenses to the holy name, without making offenses to Guru, without making offenses to Vaishnavas. Effect has to be there. You have to be patient. All my material urges will vanish, because that is the power of devotion service. That is the power of association with Krishna. That is the power of higher taste, which will gradually come up. So you have to be patient. You should desire with patience. Not desire and tomorrow I should become karma free. The body you are born with means you have all these things. Allow Krishna Nama to cleanse. Cheto Darpana Marjanam will happen. If you're sitting in a train to Bombay, be confident that one day I'll get down in Bombay station. You got into the compartment, Bombay train. No, Bombay has not come. Bombay has not come. Bombay has not come. Why? What is the use? What is the use? At least if you have some knowledge, you will see, okay, Bombay, Sholapur came, Pune came. It's coming. In the same way, you should think, I given up tea and coffee, one station gone, next station. You will see. Result you can observe. And then you will see that, I confident. I'll become free from all karma. Now I don't have higher taste. When I get higher taste, I will no longer be like a pleasure beggar. I use the word pleasure beggars. Those who are starved are beggars, right? Those who are starved are beggars. They go and beg. Kuch bhi, something you throw, hey, take it. So when we go after lust, next time we should think, Arey, why I am acting like a beggar? I am so rich. Krishna conscious happiness and pleasure. I am so rich. मेरा pocket में एक मैं खाता नहीं. Very good food is in my pocket. And there somebody has thrown something and I go after it. Why? Because you don't know in your pocket you have food. Karmis, their pocket is empty. They don't have what is transcendental happiness, what is transcendental pleasure. They do not have, they are empty, bankrupt. But here by mercy of Prabhupada and Krishna, we have got holy name, we have got our simply thinking about the eternal relationship with the Lord itself infuses transcendental pleasure into our brain. It is not enough to keep it in your pocket. It has to contemplate, it has to go into your brain, into your mind, material brain has to experience, has to contemplate, has to take pleasure in the fact that I am devotee of the Lord. It has to take pleasure that I am eternal servant of Krishna. I have an eternal identity. So 100% will progress. So we have to be patient. We have to follow everything with patience. And don't short circuit. No Vaishnava offenses, this thing. Our goal is very clear. Any questions?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, we hear from Prabhupada that inherently the soul has devotion, but presently it is covered. On the other hand, we also hear from Prabhupada, Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Lata Beach, that the seed of devotion itself is actually given to the soul. So how do we understand these seemingly contradictory points, Prabhu? That one is that devotion is already there, but it's covered. Another one is that it's not our property, but it's bestowed on us.
Guru is the confidential servitor of the Lord. Being a confidential servitor of the Lord, he plants the kind of seed. Different people have different seeds. Seed distribution. You can have mango tree seed, you can have jackfruit tree seed. Or if you associate it karmis, they will give you such kind of desires. So that kind of seed is planted. Somebody reads a book, think big, make big. He reads the author, bija dal diya. So you take that kind of bij. Now when you come to spiritual life, also there is bija. A bija which grows into Narayana Bhakti. There's bija that grows into Krishna Bhakti of Goloka Vrindavan. So there are different bijas. So those who come in parampara, Bhakti Lata Bija, this particular bija is coming, what is coming in parampara, that is planted into us. General devotion is nature of the soul. It's a variety within the spiritual world. So that is how we can understand, not that there is no devotion. The soul is eternally connected to Krishna, means eternally it has love. Now, when you practice this devotion service of, like for instance, bija is sprouts by chanting Hare Krishna, water of Hare Krishna, when you pour, it sprouts. So these are the things, this is the only thing I can say as far as it is a fact that the living entity is covered, but his devotion, his connection that I am eternal servant of Krishna is eternal fact. So much so that some places Prabhupada says, no, we have never fallen down. You only forgotten. When you wake up, you realize that I have not fallen down. I only was sleeping. So many examples Prabhupada gives like this. Because I am an eternal part and parcel of Krishna. Before, now, future. My constitution does not change. My Swarupa never changed. Even now, my Swarupa is I am eternal servant of Krishna. That is how the Ahankara is haunting us. It's not my real Swarupa. To be Lord of all that I survey is not my Swarupa. I am identifying with a false thing, and in my dream I am thinking I am an enjoyer. But I cannot be the enjoyer. Because if you want to be the enjoyer, you have to have your real body. Just like I say, in the dream, I am having a feast. So I can make a statement. Arey, you are not really having feast. You are not the enjoyer of feast. You can say you are not the enjoyer of the feast. Then what am I enjoying? You are enjoying an illusory feast in the dream. Rasa is there, but this is called illusory rasa. Why? Because it is not real feast. It is not real feast. So in the same way, in the material world, pleasures are illusory pleasures. Because there are no real pleasure objects and there are no real pleasure bodies to experience those objects. These are dream bodies. These are effects, as I said. So therefore, it's all illusory experience. So once we, this independent rasa, that's the independent happiness, all material sense gratification means we are in illusion. When you are in illusion, you cannot taste what is real bhakti rasa. You cannot taste. So bhakti rasa is there in all of us. That is one of the realization devotee gets as he progresses. This so-called enjoyer, this so-called sinful act, it's not me. It is like a false, a haunting fellow comes. Some ghost comes into the body, takes away everything, and then leaves you bankrupt. This is sense gratification. Ghost comes, enjoys, and goes away. And it's so a devotee realizes it is ghost. And non-devotee, this is not ghost, it's me. So as you get realization that this is not me, false ego is not me, I am eternal servant of Krishna, differentiation comes, then it's very easy to disassociate from sense gratification at the wholesale scale. Not control the senses, this thing. Then there also you are thinking, this is my senses, and to try to control. Right? Body is not you, senses is not you. A false ego is doing all this. Okay?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah.
One question. Prabhu, you had mentioned that we have full of so much anarthas, and the medicine to clear those anarthas is to chant offenselessly. But we see that while chanting, the offense itself is one of the anarthas. So does it mean that the progress becomes very slow in that case? The medicine itself is not being taken properly?
No, chanting, there are 3 stages of nama relationship. So nama aprada is a relationship. Because of our anarthas, we engage in nama aprada. Correct? Because of our ignorance, we engage in a relationship of nama aprada. Means we are not relating with the Lord as we should be relating as God himself who has come before me. Inattentiveness. Why? Because there is not deep faith that God himself is before me. Or there is ignorance that who is God itself. He doesn't know anything. So all these things are ignorance causes anartha. Now, it so happens, we have to causes this nama aparadha. Now, nama aparadha, to avoid, first step is you need knowledge, transcendental knowledge. One of the items in the transcendental knowledge is what? Ignorance goes away. What soul wants, what doesn't want, all those things. Anyway, those are details. The point, coming to your point, when we associate with nama, in spite of us, there are certain offenses due to our ignorance. Nama Prabhu is one of the main purpose for him to come down is to purify Nama Aparadhis. So don't worry. One of the purposes of Nama is to cleanse Chetodarpana Marjanam. First stage is clearing the Nama Aparadha. So Nama himself will clear us of the offenses. Provided from our side, in Nama Aparadha stage, one important consideration is required. Aparadha will be there, you should know that. But there is a constant seeking of forgiveness from the Lord for any aparadha which is happening. There is a feeling of forgiveness, seeking forgiveness from the Lord. I know that I am doing offenses. Please forgive me, I cannot. And then you avoid all the offenses. The spirit to minimize the offenses is very important. Then Nama Aparadha will slowly move to Nama Bhasa stage. In Nama Bhasa stage, there is a transcendental knowledge that this is not an ordinary vibration. There is a transcendental vibration which is empowering this vibration. The principle, the tattva of avatara starts simple. It's not very big thing. Just like Prabhupada says, electricity, electrical wire. You don't big philosophy to go from aparadha to Nama Bhasa. Simple analogies that Prabhupada has given, if you understand, your Shraddha will increase. So it goes to Nama Bhasa stage. So in Nama Bhasa stage, you chant, associated the holy name as Krishna himself, knowing very well how is Krishna himself, all those things. And when you continue like that, then there is a rapid purification of heart. Cleansing happens. What is Krishna? Nama is the Surya of Sat, Chit and Ananda. So Chit is what? Pure knowledge energy. So ignorance is due to what? Darkness is due to what? Lack of light. So Chit is what? Pure transcendental knowledge. Ignorance is due to what? Lack of transcendental knowledge. And what flows from the Nama is a Surya of Satchidananda. Pure Chit flows into our heart. When it goes, then what happens? Darkness goes away. That means ignorance goes away. Now we are ignorant. I need this, I need this. Anartha means what? You're fully believing that I need this. I need this. I need sense enjoyment, otherwise I cannot exist. I need food, I need this, all this. The need, that is called, false needs are called anarthas. Then your anartha nivritti happens by association the holy name. You know, what the soul needs is Krishna consciousness. All the soul needs is devotion service. Till I give my soul devotion service, I can never be happy. My Sat will be always deficit, Chit will be deficit, Ananda will be deficit. Every soul in the material world is chasing after his soul's need for Satchitananda. But they're all in deficit. Slowly, when you become devotee, the deficit decreases. Because he does not try. Why should I try Sat from material body? It is Asat. I myself am Sat. Brahman. So your existence itself, your idea of existence changes. So Sat deficit is gone. No fear of death. He knows Sat, Brahman realization means, this is not Brahman. I know all this is temporary. Only I am eternal, Krishna is eternal, Paramatma is eternal in this body. So anartha. So we should be careful that we don't consciously commit offenses. That endeavor is very important to move from nama aparadha to nama bhasa state. That's the only requirement. Simply go on feeding. Haridas Thakur says, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, the cure for nama aparadha is nama himself. With forgiveness and with more and more association. And nama is nama chintamani. If you have a spiritual desire that all my anartha should go and chant, it will be fulfilled. 100%. No desire expressed to nama chintamani will go unfulfilled. So if you want pure nama, you ask nama only. You want to go from nama aparadha stage, you ask nama only. From your heart you ask. How do I ask? Just like a person is before you, you'll ask him, no? Similarly, Krishna is in a sound body. You ask him, no? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. He is on your body. So now from your heart you tell him, please remove all the anarthas. So any spiritual desires are all fulfilled by nama. Grandharaj Srimad-Bhagavatam ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai.